The final gets underway tomorrow, fighting for a place now on BBC One. It's back to the Crucible for an afternoon of World Snooker, introduced by Hazel Irvine.
Obviously, you'd love to lift the big prize. Everyone dreams about it.
I'm happy with my form at the moment. At Crucible, I think, I played good. I should win this.
Technically, I'm definitely a lot better now than I was 10 years ago. You need a bit of luck. I think I'll get there.
Anyone's going to be capable of winning it. I won't go out there believing I'm one of the favourites. I'll just go out there and play one frame at a time and try and stay focused and see what happens.
Good afternoon. After 15 days here in the Betfred World Championship, incredibly, 2 qualifiers are still punching. In fact, China's Ding Junhui and the gallant Scot Alan McManus are still packing quite a punch, because between them, they've created the greatest semi-final we've ever seen in terms of scoring, because between them, 9 centuries so far, and that is a record here. One of them will become the first man through to the final this afternoon. But the other semi-final, which has been an intriguing affair between the 2 seeded players, world number 1 Mark Selby and number 14 Marco Fu, well, the players have looked rather punch-drunk. It's been attritional, it's been a struggle, it's been eventful. The tip of Marco Fu's cue fell off yesterday, but because of what's at stake, it's been absolutely fascinating. And it's the 3rd session of that match we've been enjoying this morning.
And there's a perfect start. And this will hurt Mark Selby. 5-4, Mark Selby. He's played it well. Played it absolutely inch perfect. In goes the ping. 6-4. And if he'd have picked it up with his hand, he could have put it in a better position. This black for a beautifully compiled century break.
They share the first 4 frames. More importantly for Mark Selby, he's still 2 in front. That's 7 frames to 5.
Well, he spotted a plant.
Excellent from Marco Fu. He's won all 3 frames to level the match for the first time at 7-7.
He's in the ascendancy at the moment, no doubt. And he couldn't have played it any better.
Is tip come off?
You're kidding. You're kidding.
Oh dear.
The worst thing in the world that can happen to a snooker player. He must be distraught. Oh, can't believe it. What a thing to happen. And the semi-final of the World Championship, when you're really in stroke, well, you couldn't pick a worse time.
But we hope it's not going to be a turning point, but might it be?
It really depends on how good a job Paul Collier does there. Because if Marco Fu said he'll go to the practice table, have a couple of shots, and if he's looking down the queue and it looks exactly the same as it was, there'll be no problem.
Well, he's just trying to check just to make sure the feel's right and just get a bit of confidence on the screw back. And I would imagine, as long as he's happy that he can play the screw back and it gets the same reaction, he'll be all right.
It's handy to start with a nice easy pot to get a little bit of confidence back in your chip.
Yes, it's just what's going on between the ears, though, for Marco. And he's smiling at the audience. Well, that might be a good sign. How well has he done to keep himself together and make this a frame-winning contribution? And he now leads the world number 1, Mark Selby, by 8 frames to 7. That's a nice pot. Oh, and he's missed it! He got a kick! That red was for a frame ball.
So Marco Fu won that session 5-3. Mark Selby won the first session 5-3. We have parity. We're going into the third session tomorrow, and they're all square at 8-all.
Well, you can't believe what's after happened to me. Look, I'm after having a Marco Fu moment. I was in practicing. My tip is after coming off. I have to get it fixed in the tournament office. Steve.
How you doing,
I
Ken?
need a bit of help.
I saw it happen. I saw it. I watched.
My tip has come off my cue.
No problem. I've got it all sorted out here. I've got the fast-acting glue. I've got the file to file the surfaces, so both surfaces are flat before I glue it on. I've got the standing knife to cut the tip to size. I've got 2 tips here. Have a quick look at these. This is the bog standard tip. It's the one we played with for years, usually the Oak Master. That's quite a cheap tip. There's the new one on the market, more the upmarket one, the laminated tips here. You can see the different laminations of the cue, and they're very good as well.
Yeah, but they're very big, aren't they? They look like beer mats. I want my old tip back on. I've got demos to do.
Demos?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, in that case, you want the old tip back on?
I want the old tip back on.
Well, the problem with that is, right, it's the same size as the tip. So I've got to put it on, I've got to glue it, I've got to put it on, I've got to get it in the middle. But the thing is then, I've got to press down, I've got to force the surfaces together to get rid of the excess glue.
Yeah.
And I've got to get it bang on.
But if Paul Collier can do it, surely you can. 6 times world champion.
Yeah, you're right. OK, well, I'll give it a try. So I've folded the surfaces down. I've filed the surfaces down. Make sure that's fold down's flat. OK, I check to see they're flat. OK, I get the super glue. Let's put some super glue on. Let's just get some on there. Wash my bottom super glue up there. OK, not too much. Don't worry about that. OK, now we're going to put the tip on, but then I've got to press down, and that's the difficult bit. OK, so there it goes on there. I'm a bit...
yeah.
And I'm pressing down as hard as I can. I think that's all right. Is that all right?
Yeah, that looks great if I was playing the World Championships in the Leaning Tower of Pisa, maybe, but how am I going to play with that?
Well, you've got no more time before your allotted time's out, so off you go.
Here come the demos.
Dr. Davis, cue surgeon, we'll see you now. It's a good job that it wasn't him yesterday, but Paul Collier helping Marco Fu out. But perhaps the doubts lingered with Marco about the cue, and in fact, both men have struggled in the early part of this morning's session. Selby, very inconsistent despite winning the first 2 frames and making a 1-2-5. But it's Marco facing a 2-frame deficit, the first time he's done so since the opening session as we head into frame 19. And Fu 14 points behind here. Commentary from Willie Thorne, John Virgo.
Mark Selby will probably take the double on here if he can get the cue ball back to the ball cushion. He's very good at doubles normally. He wants to play it, you can tell that. He's looking up to his pals in the audience, suggesting that he's going to play the double.
Well, as you say, if he can control the cue ball, I think the double is worth taking on. The only problem, as we always say with a double, if it doesn't go in and it catches the wrong jaw of the middle pocket, it can come back towards the white. But this double, this blue, for the frame. Not quite. Where's the blue ball going? Oh! And that's what I say. When it hits the jaw of the pocket, you never know where it's going to finish.
I don't think I've ever seen it finish like that, John, after a double. This blue is obviously cuttable, but boy, is it going to be tough, because if it doesn't go in, it stays there right on the pocket.
He's given it plenty of thought. It's one of those where you just feel as though if you hit it as thin as you can, it's going to go in the pocket. I can't see an easy safety, so I think he's got to play the pot
Guess the white will be going up and down twice. Very good. Where's the cue ball going? This is excellent. Absolutely to the inch. Mark Selby shakes his head. But he's had 2 chances on the blue. Unfortunately, neither of which were easy. Marco Fu potted an excellent blue, got perfect on the pink, and now the black. Surely a formality. Well played, Marco Fu. He must be wondering how he's won that frame. No break for either player of any significance. But Marco Fu pulls one back and still trails 10-9.
Yeah, big shot on the blue to get position for the pink there from Marco Fu. He does it with great aplomb, but it has been a pretty scrappy affair so far this morning. Into the next we go. Marco trailing by 8 points.
It was always difficult to find the path. Now what has he left? First look, nothing easy.
Yes, sometimes luck does play a part in snooker. You'd expect both players to have a little bit at some time. Don't know whether this red passes, John, does it, in the corner?
It'll be tight. No. Yeah, you'd think luck would even out, although you never had any, will you?
No.
Apparently.
Never. One of life's mysteries why somebody can be so unlucky.
Never had a fluke or anything like that?
No.
No?
This red is cuttable, but he's going to be careering into the red. I don't think he can get round the back of the red and get the path back into the balk area. He's going to have to miss the kiss on the brown if he can get by the first red.
I'd want to be certain I could avoid the kiss on the second red here. Well over the minute thinking time.
Seems like he's itching to play a pot, John, doesn't he, rather than a safety?
He's playing the safety now, though. And didn't play it very well at all. I mean, kissing the blue. There's been some very elementary errors here from both players, it has to be said.
Yeah, he looks a bit stressed, doesn't he, Mark, at the minute? Almost looked like there was a few tears in his eyes there. Whether he's struggling out there, I'm not sure. You can get a little bit frustrated, John, a little bit embarrassed sometimes, but he's made a century this morning. He's won 2 of the 3 frames.
Well, it's definitely a red cuttable, and obviously if this one goes to the middle, just past the pink. And played the cannon, played it positively, finished nicely on the black. Come pretty straight on this black, but he shouldn't have any problem getting the cue ball away from the cushion. He's just looking which is the easiest red to play for. Is he on this red? He's played for the red to the right corner. And the black spot held. He's on the red to the right corner. So the black goes on the pink spot, which will help. I think he can just about bounce off the top cushion. Well, he's looking now to screw round off a couple of cushions, possibly pink or black.
Surely Johnny can play this plain ball and play for the black in the middle.
Looks that way, but doesn't seem to like it. Stunning round. Well, does the brown
9.
pass the pink? That's his only hope. And I would suggest it does. Always look at the body language of the player. You can soon tell if they're not right on the ball, and as you can see, the brown clearly goes. If that brown hadn't been able to go, you'd have seen the drooped shoulders, the dropping of the head, the disappointment. But now, what a chance to go into the mid-session interval as they started this morning's session, all square.
$14. $21. $22.
Might have been a little straighter on this black. It's okay, but he's going to have to just play with a little bit of pace now and screw across for those two reds to the rise of the cue ball now. Be a little bit disappointed leaving the cue ball so close to the side cushion. Black spot still occupied.
29.
So the black goes back on the pink spot.
Obviously not happy with the angle he has on the easy red of the two, because he's going to have to push through the red a little bit. So he's potting this, trying to just get the cue ball to push through the red about 3 or 4 inches. Doesn't want to leave himself hampered with the other red he's kissing into. Oh, still not playing.
30.
Marco, he's struggling, but they're going in.
Yeah, never easy, tight to the cushion, and I'll be honest with you, I thought that was wide. I wouldn't normally expect the pocket to take a pot like that. $30 points to lead. And the way the reds are
37.
situated, this is a golden opportunity to level the match once again.
38.
Can play the black, can play the pink. Obviously the pink will go on the blue spot. That will be the highest available. If you had a nice angle, I'd see no harm in playing the pink and maybe playing for the red that's occupying the black spot. But decided he could hold better that way. If you can stop the cue ball from travelling
44.
too many distances, you always feel you got a lot better control.
45.
Overhits that slightly though for the black.
Yes, the natural path of the cue ball, maybe can into one of the reds if he could play it plain ball he'd like to, but looks like he's digging down a little bit, so playing on and off the side cushion. Just okay. He'd play it like that, he plays for the red he's just kissed.
52.
Red and the black would leave Mark Selby needing a snooker.
$53.
That's pretty good. So this black to go 53 points in front with just 51 remaining. And just signs that Marco just beginning to settle down to the task now. He's set loose pretty well.
Mark Selby very disappointed that he hasn't won at least 3 of these first 4 frames. You have to take your hat off to Marco Fu. He's played very poorly this morning as well, but he'll be delighted he's won 2 frames.
61.
Yeah, in the first session of this match, I felt that Marco Fu looked the more likely to win frames in one visit.
67.
And of course, when he had the problem with the tip, I wondered how that was going to affect him. But he's taken these very well.
68.
Be very interesting to see after the mid-session interval how the other 4 frames pan out.
$74.
So if he rolls this red in, there'll be no way back to the table. Well, there's no way back now for Mark. He won't bother coming back. Then it goes.
Okay. 75. $81. 83. 86.
'It's amazing, really, the way these first 4
90.
frames have gone. Now we're possibly going to have 2 centuries in 4 frames, and neither player have been hitting the ball anything like they normally want to.
95.
It's remarkable. 8th century for Marco. Turner, and the 78th of the tournament. That was more like it from Marco Fu. He'll go to the mid-session interval feeling a lot better. Mark Selby still not his best. It's all square. Very interesting 4 frames to come after the mid-session interval. 10-all.
And that's where we left them in that match over on BBC Two a little bit earlier. And as John said, 78th century of the championship. We're now just 8 shy of the record last year, in fact, of 86 centuries with, 2.5 days to go here in Sheffield. It's also Marco Fu's 3rd ton of this match. And despite those problems with his cue, it looks like he's settling in a little bit more comfortably now. Into frame 21 we go. And it's Fu, 35 points adrift in this one.
Good pot. Is he going to be on a colour? Needs to bounce.
1.
Who's next?
Marco Fu. 1.
Tried to cover the 1 cushion escape, and it appears as though he's done that. So coming round off 4 cushions to nestle up to this red that's just left of the black. He doesn't want to run in behind it. There's 1, 2, 3. It's not hard enough.
Foul and a miss.
Missed call.
Marco full 4.
Marco may be tempted by this red, but it was a tough snooker to get out of. Taking it on. This is tricky. Played it and played it in such a way that if he was to miss it, he'd have covered it with the black and the 2 reds. But the only problem with playing it that way was never going to be perfect on the pink. So another difficult pot coming up. 23 points behind at the moment. Dear me, he's got a lot of cue between bridge hand and cue ball.
Yeah, he's often decided he may need to just flick a little bit of side on here. I'm not too sure whether he can get through to it playing ball. Yes, playing with a little bit of check side just to straighten it up. 8. Once again, not the desired angle on the pink unless he can screw into the 2 reds and black. The other white checked up over there. That tells me he has to put a little bit of left-hand side on to help the pot. Now he's looking at what happens if he cannons into the black. But the angle he looks like on the pink, I'm not too sure whether he can get there. Does he think the red pots are just above the black? Doesn't look like it from here. We'll know after this shot. Well, he feels the red does pot.
Can he get past the
40
black for the potting angle? Yeah, me, the referee will be watching this close.
Foul.
Yeah, hit the black first.
And this. Marco full 14. Mark Selby 7.
He convinced himself there that that red was on. It never looked on. Now you see the black moving before the cue ball got to the red.
He actually hit the black about quarter ball, John, didn't he? But he's got away with it. He doesn't appear to have left anything on at all. And the safety's not straightforward.
Yeah, Mark just asking the referee, you called a miss. So the referee said yes, but I don't know what value the miss will be. Imagine having them put replaced and then he pots the red.
Pots the red, yeah. Can't risk that, can he?
No. No way, Jose. Brendan Moore, local man. 7 hours now, and still no sign of who's going to take this semi-final. Decided to go for the red. It was a tough one. So Marco, having made that error, comes back to the table with a chance of a pot. 23 points behind. Big ask to win the frame in one visit.
One.
Played that pretty well. Be a lot easier if you could pot this blue and hole for the red in between the green and brown, but I'm not certainly straight enough for that. If you can't hole for it, then the positional side of the shot is a little bit trickier. Oh, well, he could hold, and hold comfortably. Now, this begs the question, is the black spot available?
6.
If if he pots the black, will it cover the potting angle for the red that's near the black spot?
7.
And it must do, because that's why he's played for the blue.
But without the black on the spot, this last red's going to be very, very difficult indeed.
Yes, and with that in mind, Will it, and you can see the disappointment on his face. He wanted an angle on this red so he could play for the black. He hasn't got it. Reduced his arrears to 11 points, but well, that's just off straight the wrong side.
We've often said in commentary that Marco Fu's not blessed with the most cue power. He'd need all of his cue power to get around off maybe 1, 2, 3 cushions to try and get onto the black or blue. There's just enough room. It's just slightly off straight. And playing the deep screw with the side, I don't think he's got the power to play that shot. So he could still get on the black if he forces it through. Decided just to play the safety.
We'd like to find the baulk cushion behind the yellow and brown.
Black ball. Marco Fu, 13.
Looks to have played it pretty well. Two ways of playing this. You either come off the side cushion and nestle on the red, or I think the possible swerve is on. You could swerve it, but Mark feels it's a better option just trying to nestle on this red. And of course, if he was just to run past it and leave the pot on, it'd be very difficult to pot the red and get position on a colour. So just dead weight. Well, I can't believe he's played it with pace. I can't believe he's played it like that. He needs a bit of luck here. I mean, why not just nestle on the red? I mean, OK, you may be losing the advantage, but...
It's impossible to get into a colour from the red, even if he leaves them straight along the top cushion.
So here's a chance for Marco Fu to take the lead. He's only been in front in this match once, and that was when he led 8-7. Of course, remember, in this match he lost the first 3 frames, was always playing catch-up. But now just 6 points behind. He'll be very disappointed if he doesn't win the frame at this visit.
Six.
Wow.
Marco Fu, 6.
What a miss. OK, he's got away with it. He's covered the potting angle on the green, but Mark Selby would just be glad that he's still in this frame. Always low. Easy escape. 2 cushions, just got to catch the green full. And as I say, you'd just be pleased that the frame's not over. Could never guarantee getting it safe. OK, Marco's got another opportunity here, but after missing the easy green as he did, he won't be relishing this one. Turned it down in favour of the snooker and safety, and he's just about crept there. I mean, if he could get him behind the green, he could get it safe. I don't know if he can do that with the swerve. Looks like he can. Just got to miss the green on the way up and catch it on the way back. And the fuller he hits the green, the more likelihood of getting it safe. Got to judge this well, though. Couldn't have judged it better. Could not have played it better. Good shot.
Yes, we've seen those go wrong many, many times when you catch them quarter ball and both white and green would have gone up right towards the blue spot area. Could have played that shot pretty well as well.
Yes, and it's not that easy to hit this because the pink is stopping him coming off the baulk cushion, it appears. Coming off this top cushion. He'll do well to get this safe. If the pink wasn't there, it'd be easy to come off the baulk cushion, but the pink has cut off that natural one cushion escape. This is more difficult. And there's a little bit of room around the green. It's a good hit, but he needs to get away with it, and he hasn't. He's left the green. So Marco Fu gets another chance. Oh, another one into the same pocket. Not even close. Amazing.
Quiet down,
unbelievable.
Just shows you, John, here at the Crucible, you can miss anything. Both these players have made over 400 competitive centres each. Both two of the best break builders in the game. But with nerves jangling, anything can be missed when they're playing not at their best.
Seven.
Glance at the scoreboard will tell him just the blue needed.
And it would be a very, very relieved Mark Selby, because on no fewer than 2 occasions he must have thought this frame had gone. Marco Fu, wow, he'll be kicking himself. So in goes the pink. Another not so memorable frame, but Mark Selby won't mind that. Marco Fu, well, he missed 2 greens into the yellow pocket. Unbelievable bad misses. Mark Selby is 1 frame ahead again, 11-10.
Yes, that lightning unfortunately strikes twice where that yellow pocket is concerned, and on the green ball as well. And I think it was the second of his misses in that frame that really drew gasps from the audience, didn't it, guys?
Yeah, because you expect these players, even though there's a lot of tension out there, to pot these balls. And I think the stakes are being raised. This is for a place in the final.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, he missed the green off the spot area. It must have been on his mind. And he's only playing this just with a slight bit of side, a slight bit of right-hand side. And what's happened is pushed in. But, you know, be very, very nervous from both players. It's either a century or it's a scrappy frame. It's from one extreme to the other. And we're seeing a lot of misses from both players. Obviously, the tension is getting to both of them.
Very, very, very tense out there. How do you explain, well, the fluctuations in the quality of what we're seeing frame by frame, as Ken points out?
Well, I think, you know, it just shows you if one player starts to get nervous, sometimes it's catching. And as I say, it is for a place in the final, and they're both desperate to sort of get there. Marco Fu showed fantastic resolve and nerve to get through his previous match, but perhaps on the biggest stage of all, he started to worry about the game, started to worry about the final.
One would imagine so, but Marco's waited 10 years to get another chance in the semi-final here. How will he respond in the next? Let's find out.
And because it wasn't a great lay, he left a chance of a pot, and an excellent pot it was. Now he needs an angle on the brown. That would not have been on, and that cue ball being tight to the cushion. Just got a slight angle on the brown, as you can see. Well, it's becoming a real struggle now for both players. That was an excellent opportunity for Marco. Okay, he was trying to make the angle slightly, but shouldn't be missing those. And with his black available into both corners, this is a great chance. Just one good pot. He should be on the black. It's getting hard work, and it's not going to get any easier this session. Both players just a little bit out of touch.
But look where the whites finished, John. He's didn't even get onto the black nicely. Pot success in this third session. Both well below 90. Marco Fu appears to be just hanging on to Mark Selby's shirt tails at the moment. He's getting chances.
Eight. Nine.
Marco just asking for the cue ball to be cleaned. In this match, although the scoreline doesn't say it, I always felt that Marco Fu was the one that was capable of scoring the most when he got in. But with the opportunities that are being spurned this morning in this third session, I'd take nothing for granted now. You know, normally, Willie, as you're watching a match unfold, you get a feeling for who's playing the better.
16.
I haven't got a clue.
Me neither, John. Absolutely me neither. I think Marco is missing more easy balls than Selby, to be perfectly honest, but both are playing poor safety shots as well. I think this is possibly to go to the wire this evening. I know one thing for certain, one of them will fall over the line.
17.
Yeah. Best of 33. It's got to be a winner. I agree with you. I think this could go all the way and it'll be draining. For those of you in black and white, that was the brown that you just potted.
21.
Well, there's two ways of playing this. He could play it firm and screw into the four reds above the pink, or just play a little drop cannon on the red immediately to the right of the pink. Decided to play it that way, but now he may be wishing he'd have gone into that cluster of four with pace, because he's not ideal here. Delicate little shot required.
28.
Played it well. We've got a nice angle on the blue here. Just having a look what's available. Obviously the right hand one of the four reds will go to the right corner. So he doesn't have to play a cannon. And you know, I think the middle reds may be a plant.
34.
Not quite. But he's okay. He's on this red just below the pink. Nicely on it to play for the black. And those 4 reds to the right of the pink are available without having to play any cannons.
35.
Although, having played it like that, he may have to play the cannon now. Forced into it because of the angle he's got on the black. Could have brought better. They could definitely have brought better than that.
42.
The cut right into the middle. He can get round the back of the black. So we're playing this off 2 cushions to get onto the black. That looks high. Oh, that looked high. Played off 1 cushion instead. When this first set off, John, I thought that was definitely high.
Yeah, it was just like a hand dragged it in the pocket. So 59 points the lead. We're looking for red colour red.
50.
To level the match once more.
$51.
Well, there was a clap from the audience, and Marco Fu immediately looked at the scoreboard, thought he'd misread the scoreboard, but he quickly realised he didn't. So he needs 1 more red. Considering the way Marco's been playing, and to have made a century this morning and this 56 and counting here.
56.
It shows you how mentally strong he is.
Yeah, but it does help when you're getting 2 or 3 chances a frame, doesn't it?
57.
A larger round of applause this time tells them that that was frame ball. And somehow he's going to be level once more.
$63. $64.
Apart from the 180 made in levelling the scores at 10-10, it's been far and away the highest break he's made. Apart from that, as we mentioned earlier, won a frame earlier on with a high break of 18. What a shame we're not going to get any century, but he'd be very, very pleased with that performance. A break of 71 comes to an end after an easy red miss, but Marco Fu would be pleased to be level again at 11 all.
frame 23.
Selby breaking off.
Mark Selby to
in
break.
frame 23.
Decent length with the break-off shot. Left the red, possible to the left corner, but the black tied up. No value in playing it. Good length with the cue ball. A good reply from Marco. Excellent.
The red just above the pink is the one he'll be playing back into baulk from. I think you can see the edge of that. Well, it looks like he's playing off the edge of the pack. Still plenty of room to go around the back of them, but look how poorly he's hitting the safety shots now. This is worrying times for both players.
So thick. Once was it just less than quarter ball. It's almost as much as he could see of it. But doesn't look as though he's left anything. Mark Selby very fortunate not to have left a pot on here. There's an easy run back to the baulk end. Obviously he's got to cover this red that's adjacent to the right corner. I think he's just letting himself cool down. He's a little bit annoyed that he feels as though he should be on something here. There's over a minute here, but there's only a safety. Return back to baulk. Aye, what's he spotted? Nothing. Oh, hang on. He's giving it the one eye. Decided to play up and down off this red. And the reason for that, he feels as though he can get the blue to cover the red near the pocket, and he's done that. But there is a red just above and to the right of the pink that will pot, and if he was to pot that and screw over to the two reds that are touching one another, he'd be on the black. It's a big shot to take on. But he has potted some terrific balls in this match, but it doesn't appear as though he's considering the pot. Does he think this red below the pink could go in off the red near the right corner? As it got, oh, I'll tell you what, it wasn't far away from going in off, but an excellent cue ball. Nothing wrong with that safety shot. But these two reds together near the right corner, the right-hand one may just be potable. And the reason I say that, he'll have a look at safety options, but if he did pot it, every chance he could finish on the pink into the middle here. Taking it on. Played it well, and he's on the pink to the middle. One. Good chance, this.
7.
Doesn't have to
8.
bring too many balls into play, and I think that red that's close to the black spot will go to the same pocket as the black. And it looks like the angle where he could run across the table for that red in the same pocket. Couldn't have played it much better. Let's see where the black goes. Just about okay.
50.
I think he can just pot this red and avoid the kiss on the black. Well, all right. If he can't avoid the kiss, just rub past it. Well, he could avoid the kiss,
16.
so that was okay. Little cannon, Will?
Yeah, the left hand of the two reds that are directly above the black. But, you know, the way they're both playing, it's going to be hard to guarantee the full-ball cannon. He could overscrew this or underscrew it. This is the line that we've put in for you. That's the kiss he wants. And that's the kiss he's got. As you see, he's not... Because they're not cueing brilliantly at the moment, he's played to hit that full ball. Because it is half ball, he's lost the cue ball. OK, he still should pot the red. But this is the problem when you're not playing at your best. Little things can go wrong. And his body language is telling me he's not on the one that is 3 down from the pink. Maybe he'll have to play the one that's right on the left-hand side there and cut it into the black pocket. But with an element of safety, be going back to balk. Just shows you, John, when you're not cueing well, that little cannon, John, when you're cueing well, unmissable.
Yeah, and it's such a strong part of Marco's game. When he's in and around the pink and black spot area, those little cannons. Well, he's played it well.
24.
Recovered the situation somewhat. He's looking at the blue, but he's a little bit thin on the blue, so I would suggest green or brown. Would give him an angle to come down on the reds. Good positional shot here, could put him right back in prime position. He's played that nicely.
27. The
red to the right of the pink pots. So that's the pressure a little for the cue ball. Of course, the pink's available now, so this has now become a frame-winning opportunity. We said that in the previous frame, where he looks certain to
33
to win it. Once again,
34.
didn't get into the cue ball, played to get onto the blue, completely mishit it. Played to screw past that red for the blue.
Yeah, the problem is here, easy enough to pot the pink and come round off 2 cushions, but where does the red come from? I don't think he can play it plain ball, because he may run into one of those 3 reds just below the pink, so he's got to stun to avoid the cannon. So he's got to be very precise, maybe thinking about a red to the right middle. Well, he got into it, and he's just about on that red to the right middle. He played that very well.
40. $41.
I think he's just about on the pink. And in potting the pink, the 2 reds just to the left of the pink. Just a little cannon on one of those would leave him a nice straight red into the same pocket as he's playing this ball. Played it nicely. Okay, a bit close to the red, but always knew he was nudging the ready cannon towards the middle, so no problem.
47.
Just stunning this in. I think the pink's available. Could go up for the blue. But a frame winning chance. No doubt about that.
Yes, he won the last frame with a break of 71.
48.
So this will be worrying times now for Mark Selby, because he's realising now Marco Fu's starting to play. If Mark Selby plays at the same standard, he'll be going home. He has to up his game quickly.
Yes, couldn't agree with you more, Willie. We were talking in between frames about if someone could just raise the game a notch or 2.
54.
May be able to take a useful lead going into the final session this evening. Or a 2-frame advantage, that's the most any player could ask for as it turns out now, but just get that feeling that Marco is just going up a notch or 2.
$55.
And when you think, John, just 2 frames ago, he's missed ball after ball after ball, and all of a sudden he's found a bit of form from somewhere.
Well, I think as we've said, if your opponent keeps missing and giving you opportunities, then nothing builds your confidence more. There you see it, 61
61.
ahead. Red and a black would do. Red and a pink would be sufficient. So this black will put him 69 points in front with just 67 remaining. And there's the difference now. He's going to take a 1-frame advantage. He's got a 90% pot success. Mark Selby still below 90 at 87%. So the applause for Snooker is required. Every possibility of another century. Well, it looks like he's got a bit of a bounce off the side cushion, so that century
77.
will only be possible if you can double this red. Will he double it or just play safe? He's got the frame 1. He doesn't want to give Mark Selby any second chances.
77.
And Mark's in his seat when he concedes, so Marco Fu just beginning to raise his game here. And for the second time in the match, he goes 1 frame in front. Important stages now. 12-11, Marco Fu against the world number 1.
Yeah, Marco has the lead for the first time in frame 15, since frame 15, and of course that was the infamous frame in which the tip flew off the top of his cue. So he's got himself together and he's in the lead again. Now, can Selby level this to take it all square going into the evening session? Let's find out. The world number one, 25 points to 8 in front.
Not the desired contact on the red, but he's been a little bit fortunate there to left himself slightly hampered. I left Marco slightly hampered. Black still pots, and I think the pink pots as well, but who's going to pot the first red to bring those into play? Who's going to win this safety battle? Where's the red going up? Now, he could play an aggressive save shot here, try and play the red to career into a few more reds, bring them into play, knowing that he's almost bound to get in behind the brown or green. Is it time to play an aggressive safety? Well, he's looking at the cross double. He's looking at the cross double and trying to get back down to pot the green. As John always says, where's the red going? Trying to make something happen.
Yeah. Well, this frame now, and it's 22nd minute, and it's and just past the 8-hour mark, and all the balls are all going to the right hand side of the table. So even if someone got a chance, you wouldn't fancy him scoring many. This looks good. This looks very good. Very good indeed.
That's always going to be the target with this safety exchange behind brown and green, but as you can see, eventually somebody's going to be pushing a red towards the corner pockets. Has the blue come to his rescue? Not quite.
I think the side cushion may have done, Willie. Right behind the line of the shot, and it looks very straight. Well, can he pinch a bit? Well, he did, and that's an excellent pot. Use it just to slow up a little bit. He's just about on the blue.
One.
It was a cracker. Didn't think he could pinch that much of it, but right in the heart of the pocket. If it had just stopped a foot lower, he'd have been perfect on this blue to pot it and run into those reds to the right of the black, but not from the angle he's got now, which is why he's playing the green. Just needs to slow up a little bit.
Four.
Can he somehow get onto the pink, which I think will just about pass the red in the corner? Just having a little look. Not too sure whether the pink does pot. From that camera angle, I'm not sure it does. Mark's playing up for the blue.
5.
The only chance he had there, again, a little bit of right-hand side with the blue. Well, there's not all the pocket for the pink, is there? But he's wrong side the blue again. Just looking if he pots the blue and just leaves the cue ball tight to the side cushion, he Can he get through to this red near the right corner? Didn't think he could. He's played this well. He's played this very well. That's an excellent positional shot.
That's the first time he's timed the ball well in the last 4 frames. Couldn't have hit that shot better. Generated loads of topspin. Just watch the cue ball take off of the second cushion when the spin bites. He's having another look at the pink. We know it pots off the left-hand jaw and possibly almost the centre of the pocket, but clearly not off the right-hand jaw. I'm sure it's worth the risk. But he's queuing back for the blue again. He doesn't think it's going to be worth the risk. Oh, he does.
11.
But not ideal.
Yeah, I think he was hoping to kiss that red that he's just ran by. If he'd have kissed it, it'd have been a bit closer to the pink. But this pink into a blind pocket, and not all the pocket available, is very missable. And it's not just a simple case of just dropping the pink in. He's got a little bit of work to do with the cue ball. This is very, very missable.
Yes, he's going to have to. There you can see clearly that if he's stunning it in for the red into the right-hand middle.
Yeah, it might seem a strange thing to say. I prefer the brown to the pink. At least you can get your hand on the table. It's a half-ball pot.
Yeah, good thinking, and he's just coming to look at just that. The fact that it'll be the red that's on the back cushion will be a little bit tight as far as his waistcoat's concerned.
No. Back to the pink. If he could just drop it in and finish on a red, I wouldn't mind, but he's got a little bit of work to do with the cue ball. Got to be so accurate. Well, he's used all the pocket, and somehow it dropped in. Well played.
The fact these pockets are a little bit more generous than you'd expect. Knocked 4 times, but went
70.
in. Now if he drops this red and gets nicely on the pink, a chance to level the scores and going into tonight's session all square. But nothing's easy at the moment for Mark Selby.
17.
But he has a 34-point lead. Will it be enough?
I think this is an example of what we've seen from Mark throughout this match. He's just not getting that cue ball through. It seems to be hitting the white and then going through. It's not all one fluid movement. It's very unlike Mark. He's usually got a lovely touch in amongst the balls, but as Willie has said on numerous occasions, and I agree, his timing's just not right. So here we go, off the blue, top cushion, and smash into those reds that just to the right of the black. Should be on one to the corner. Oh, he's misjudged that completely. I mean, the one thing he had to do was avoid the kiss on the red near the top cushion.
6.
Surely that wasn't difficult.
Been a very strange session. We've had 2 centuries and 2 breaks above 70. Apart from that, neither black and pot a ball.
Marco Fu, 6.
Not quite. There's left a chance of a pot on here for Mark.
Well, there's the total points, 1066, and boy, Mark Selby is facing a battle at the moment. He's one down. Can level. The Battle of the Crucible, not the Battle of Hastings.
So he's got a chance of this red to the right middle. Good pot, but couldn't avoid the kiss on the yellow, and I think he was more determined to make certain he got the pot. He's just gradually building up a lead, 29 points in the frame he badly needs, and you can see the tension that's out there. So no matter what happens, we're going to be in for some drama this evening. And of course, Willie, when you get to that final session, the shackles are off, because now you're not getting near the end of the match, so they might come out tonight thinking, right, it's a best of 9 for a place in the final of the World Championship, and both players could raise the game. Trying to nestle into these reds just to the right of the black. Doesn't want to creep past them. He could leave a red if he does. Just caught it. But still Mark Selby with the initiative.
Nothing pots. I'm not too sure off the red that's just above the black whether he can swing it round. He'll be bringing reds into play, but it's a real good chance of getting a good cue ball. Him behind the brown again, as it's been all this frame. Brown and green have been the balls they've been trying to snooker. Nothing pots there. Surely he's not thinking of playing the plant. Some 18 inches apart at least, probably almost 2 feet.
Yes, in that red, just by the black, you think you'll be able to swing round off 2 cushions. Well, in the end, he did go for a plant, a bit of desperation now. Be very lucky if he's not left an easy red. Well, the green stopped the easy red, but there's one to the left corner. A sheepish look up to the players' balcony there from Mark Selby. I don't think he should have played that.
He's 29 points in front, John. Why would you even risk that? Brought all reds into play.
Now Mark Selby will have to sit in his seat and wonder whether that very reckless attempt at a plant he's going to put in 2 frames behind going into the final session this evening. every likelihood that it could.
Six. Seven.
Well, I can only assume he's playing for the black, but he's twixt in between. He's got the blue to the far corner. That will be awkward queuing with this red near the top cushion. He's got the pink. If he plays the black, he's just slightly hampered by the blue when using the rest. The blue can just catch your eye and put you off. I mean, just looking at the potting angle there, just pot the black. Make certain you pot it, bound to be on the red to the left middle, worse way. Yep. Trying to put a little bit of backspin into the cue ball. Looks to have landed nicely.
14.
Now a nice angle on the blue. And if he was a little bit straighter on the blue, he may be able to drop it in and play for one of these two reds near the right hand side cushion. Well, he feels as though he can. And play the outside one.
20.
Well, he's playing the, well, he looked at the inside one, but the outside one, I think he might have to play for the pink here. Now he could play the soft
21.
stone and hold for the black, because the black wasn't available into the right corner. And when he pots this black, he'll just go 1 point behind. A little shake of the head from Marco. He let that cue ball run loose a bit there.
28.
Especially if it's gone straight, John. He's got plenty to do with the cue ball. That was an error.
Very careless.
And now can't get onto the last red.
29.
So a reprieve for Mark Selby.
Yep. He's not recovered the good position needed. So Mark Selby will be thinking he'll be coming back to the table. The points now all square. 43 apiece.
If the pink passes the brown, it may be worth taking the pink on, but into the already the longest frame of the match. Not too sure whether the pink passes the brown, but that would be the only way he can get onto the last red. If not, he'll be playing it into the middle. There you can see it's too tight. So just a drop in the middle. Well, he's played it firm. Has he fluked it?
Marco Fu, 29.
Wow.
Yeah, if you need to
There's
go,
been more twists and turns in this. I'm afraid Mark's just asking he's got to go for a comfort break. I know it's a difficult time, but this is a really important shot.
Well, the frame had been going for 43 minutes to this point, and they'd had a re-rack before that. Perhaps no wonder. And Marco also took the chance to pop out of the arena as well. When they returned, Selby picking up where he left off, and it is now really, really tense in that arena.
Not happening.
Nice.
It is just not happening. Didn't happen yesterday for him, and you thought today he'd come out and play a little bit better, but it's much of the same.
There's still a chance, though, of sharing the session, John, and both players will be very disappointed in the way they played. But Marco Fu, if he can get a 2-frame lead, you'd have to say his favourite to get to his first final. But if somehow Mark Selby can win the frame and level at 12-12, still all to play for.
Obviously, if he could hit this red full in the face and stun it round the table, he would do, but he feels that hitting it full in the face, the red would come off the cushion and run into the black. Shot time over the minute. Frame time, as we said already, the longest frame of the match, and no sign of a conclusion yet. Well, I don't think he played the pot there, to be honest with you. I think he was more concerned in getting the cue ball up towards the pink and hoping the red would come off the top cushion, side cushion, and back behind the black, but he misjudged it. Don't think Mark will be taking this pot on. He's just missed an easier one than this with the rest. He wouldn't be fancying this one. Playing the cross double, and but for the kiss on the blue, it may have been a telling one, but not now. And there's always that pink there you consider would be a blocker. So just avoid the bump of the middle pocket and try and get that cue ball back towards the pink. Well, he's played the shot to get the snooker behind the black, and if he's got it, well, I won't call it the wrong shot. And he has it. I always feel at this stage of a frame, with just one red left on the table, that a snooker gives you a big advantage.
Can't do anything else but play this very, very pacey if he plays it off the right-hand side cushion. Needs to leave plenty of distance between cue ball and object ball, and if he plays it this way off 2 cushions. Has to hit it this way, though, because the white will be going up towards the pink, green and brown, so there's a chance of a free ball if he doesn't make contact with it. And that's as good as anything. I'm not too sure whether the red passes the pink. If it does, he'll take it on.
I wouldn't have thought it did. He'll be happy with that. Well, I'm saying I wouldn't have thought it did. But it does. It does go. So here's a chance for Marco Fu to have a 2-frame advantage going into the final session tonight. Another one missed.
If everybody says it doesn't mean anything to get to the final of the World Championship, that shot just tells you the story. He's struggling out there. Mark Selby struggling. It means so much.
Well, it's good safety, and you can't blame Mark for refusing that. He's missed a few long pots in this frame, and he knows that he could refuse the long pot and play a decent safety. This red's going towards the corner. Where's the cue ball going? Is it going to nestle in pocket or behind it? Well, but he's left the red. It's not going to be easy. In the jaws of the pocket, not much room for your bridge hand. Well, he's got it. He's not on anything good.
When you're struggling, isn't it amazing where the cue ball can end up? He's played for brown or green, overhit it, thought, well, I'm still going to be on the blue, finished tight on the cushion. The blue for me is no value. And even if he plays the roll up behind the brown to leave him snooker behind the green for the yellow, that will be easy to hit.
Yes, it's. I still think the brown and green are the best balls to snooker behind. Would it be an idea to send the blue across off the right hand side cushion back towards the yellow and get the snooker behind green and brown? And you may just block the one cushion escape.
That's what he's tried to do, John. You can see the yellow. Yeah, that blue had been 2 inches further to the left. That one cushion escape would have been on.
Well, as you see, you can hit the yellow, but it's one of those situations where you'd be trying to get distance between cue ball and object ball, and you're not necessarily be able to do that.
And also the yellow, if he plays it round the cushion, he's got to avoid the kiss on the blue, he's got to avoid the kiss on the pink.
Well, that's he felt that's all he can do, and now you'd have to say definitely advantage Mark Selby. Chance of getting the cue ball in behind the pink here, you would have thought. If it could get right in behind the pink, that would really cause Marco a problem. Just got it. We tried to show you the shot, but Mark Selby was walking back to see if he'd got it. Just there.
Yes, it's half an inch away from being a really telling snooker. The fact that he can get by this, he could play 2 cushions and try and hit it. Oh, that squared up a little bit. He must have played with side.
Foul.
Yeah, he put a lot of check side on it, didn't he?
Mark Selby 4.
Yeah, I don't think Mark will be interested in that long pot. Yeah, try to play it with check. Of course, the other alternatives than this, you feel as though he could swerve round the pink.
Yeah, I think that white's a little bit tighter to the pink, but he's still playing the same shot.
Yeah, he played with a lot of right-hand side just to straighten it up off the second cushion. Misjudged out the first attempt. Well, played the second one really well. Very clever shot. He got out of the snooker last night. Well, in this match, remember? One of the best escapes I've seen for many a year. That was very clever.
Yes, you'd have thought it impossible for Marco Fu to almost get an advantage by hitting that yellow. That was just a containing safety. Marco could risk playing it thin on the left-hand side, white behind green and brown again, but got to be careful with the yellow. Doesn't want to push it towards the corner again.
Nice.
That's pretty good. I mean, if you could stun the yellow full ball and swing it round the angles, fine, but I think it's bound to run into the pink. Not quite certain how you get this safe.
And Norris mark. If he hits it full in the face, John, he's going to catch the pink, isn't he? He can't play in between blue and pink, the yellow.
Doesn't appear so, as we go over the 50-minute mark for this frame.
He's just trying to see if he can hit it full ball and send it in between blue and pink, but I don't think he can. And stun the cue ball where the yellow is, but we'll know in a minute.
Oh, he could avoid the kiss on the pink, and he's played this brilliantly. Didn't think he could avoid running the yellow into the pink. That's an excellent shot.
That's his best safety shot of the morning session. And now obviously 3 balls on if Marco doesn't hit it first time.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if he doesn't hit it. I'll be surprised if he doesn't play the swerve. I won't want to risk coming off a cushion. He could definitely hit the black coming this way.
It's a bigger target playing the swerve as well, John, isn't it?
I'd have thought so. Could hit the black going this way for sure. And not only that, he's left his pot on the yellow.
Mark Selby, 7. Free ball.
Surprised at that decision. Free ball, but I think this yellow's spottable, and it'd be very hard to refuse.
Now, if he was left in his position in a normal frame, he wouldn't even hesitate taking the pot on the yellow.
No.
But because it's snookered, he might have it put right back. Just having a glance at the scoreboard.
12 points the lead. Yellow, green and brown to level the match. And of course he'll have to nominate. He'll have to say yellow. That's unforgivable, really. He's completely out of touch in this session. Not quite. It's funny there, when he had the free ball, normally the referee asks you to nominate, but I always thought that if you didn't nominate, well, I assumed that because he was playing the yellow, did he not have to nominate?
Because it was the ball on him, I think it was okay, but normally they might just do it just in case the referee couldn't tell.
Yeah, but you're right, because it was the ball on. No need to nominate. Worry the rules.
I haven't got a clue on them, John, really, I've got to be honest. Right, similar sort of shot. Can he get round in between pink and yellow again? Pink and blue with this safety shot on the yellow.
I think he'll have a job missing the blue if he tries to swing it round off the 3 cushions, as he did before. I think the main objective is avoid the yellow going into the pink. But he's missed a good opportunity already here. It's coming up to the 1 minute and the over 54 minutes for this frame. It's been hard work for both players. But come this evening, the final session, it could make all the difference. Well, it could have been worse.
Mark Selby did a little jump there, was hoping he'd push the black safe for some reason.
Well, this is Mark there was looking at the screen. He wanted it to kiss the black.
I think for two reasons, John, not to finish tight on the cushion and also to put the black safe.
Well, he's got it safe, but he's not really dictating the safety exchange, just having to roll up to the balls. Big difference, of course. Marco Fu wins it, 2-frame advantage. Mark Selby, he needs it to get all square. This time a straightforward safety shot for Mark. Last couple of times he's not been able to play anything positive, just a containing safety, but he can play this with a bit more aggression.
Foul. Remiss. Mark Selby 4.
See no reason at all why Mark shouldn't have this replaced. Oh, he's asking him to play from that side, and I can understand that. Because playing the other way, there was a chance he could get in behind the pink. It's going to be hard to do that from here. But of course, now that he's missed once, he won't be warned if he misses it this time. Different position. So he's not hit this well. If it kisses a green, does it pass the pink? I would think not. And now it has become the longest frame of the tournament.
Don't think he can just play it slow and snooker him behind the green, can he? I suppose he'd be slightly worried about pushing the yellow towards the pocket, but it looks from here he could play the slow roll. Such a huge frame for Mark Selby, he just can't afford to make another mistake. You don't want to be 2 frames behind at any stage, never mind about going into the final session.
Here we come, sweeping in. Like being a bird, isn't it? Any bread anywhere? The one thing you can rely on, and I hope I'm not going to put my foot in it here, Mark Selby has got a very good snooker brain. He'll need a bit of thinking out, but I'll be surprised if he didn't come up with a solution here.
I'm just thinking of another shot, John. I mean, if he stuns it, and just to miss the pink, the yellow's almost bound to kiss the brown, so if it's tight behind the green, that's the way of guaranteeing getting behind the green. But it's got topspin on it. So he's in trouble.
I see his plan, but as you say, he's in trouble because he's handed the initiative to Marco here. Easy stun behind pink or brown. He doesn't want the yellow in, though. Is there a gap? there is a gap, but I don't think it's enough for Mark to be able to pot the yellow, unless he tries to pot it cushion first.
And amazingly enough, John, at the pace he's going to play it, if he does happen to pot it, he'll go round the back of the black and can get on the green, amazingly enough. Too thick.
Well, it's run safe. I suppose that's a bonus. We're over the hour now. They'll be queuing round the crucible, waiting for the afternoon session to start. Not likely, Marco.
Did he ask for a rerun?
He asked for a rerun. I've not eaten since breakfast.
Cue ball. Bit harder, isn't it not?
Yeah, Mark just saying I'd be more than happy to start this semi-final again. And that's the way the first two sessions went, and it's not really improved much in this third session. No matter what happens, it's going to be all to play for tonight. Both players now have dropped below 90% pot success. This looks safe enough. Yep. It's not going to be easy for Marco to tell a telling safety shot here. Well, that's pretty good. Is there an edge of the yellow sticking out? Yeah, just an edge. Well, we're now into our 63rd minute coming up, and I don't see any end at the moment to this frame.
Azumi feels he can get in behind the black here, but where the yellow's going to end up, needs to get under the cushion. Wouldn't probably help Mark, that, just slightly making the black more difficult than it was. No advantage in potting the yellow where the green is. I can see another 20 minutes in this frame. That's a good safety shot.
Yes. The problem is, for anyone, even if they got a chance on the yellow, where the green is, You're not going to win the frame in one visit. So there's a little less pressure on this shot for Marco. We're talking about records, Willie. The number of century breaks that have been made in the other semi-final. Most century breaks ever made in a match here at the Crucible. Now we're looking at what's the longest frame ever played at the Crucible.
I know that one, John. 75 minutes, Maguire King. That would have been a telling snooker as well. Two. Now it's a tough save shot at the green. Yeah, 75 minutes, John. Maguire King.
Quiet down, please. Thank you.
Here we're at 66, and I think there's at least another 9 minutes left in this frame.
Well, he'd got the perfect shot, and Mark, he'd got the snooker. He didn't want the yellow to drop, but they've got to go in sometime.
Mark Selby 2.
Clearly, the fact that Mark Selby's 18 points in front is a massive favourite to win this frame, with the pink being where it is and the black being where it is. Obviously, pink to black would be virtually impossible. So he knows he's going to get a few more chances in this frame. Needs green and brown.
Yeah, I'm just looking. It's difficult to tell the angle. I don't know whether he could run the pink, the green into the pink. No, I was thinking if he had more of an angle, because if that green was to stop where the pink is, he could possibly get a snooker behind the brown, but I don't think he can come off the top cushion, off the baulk cushion to play that.
Don't think he can quite hit it thick enough, can he, John? I see what you mean, though. It's one thing for certain, I don't think you can leave distance between cue ball and object ball here.
Well, he played it cleverly. He played it very cleverly, and is the pink going to come as a snooker ball? Not quite, but by playing it like that, ran the green into the pink, brought the pink into play, and got the green safe. Mark can get through to hit it.
Of course, now that lead of 18 points means precious little, really, because whoever pots the green, you'd think he'd pot the brown slowly and get onto the blue nicely. So this frame's still marked favourite, obviously, but not a bigger favourite as it was before.
And he's got a choice here. I mean, it seems the natural way to play it is to hit the green thin and run it into the black, but maybe he doesn't want to knock the black over the corner. But I don't see... He's certain if he comes from behind, he can get this green safe. Well, he couldn't have played it any better than that. That's an excellent shot. Snooker would be a bonus, but it's not a snooker. That's safe enough. The funny thing is, when you're out there, we're just about 5 minutes from breaking the longest frame ever played at the Crucible. you won't feel it out there, will you? You wouldn't realise all you're thinking about is shots you've played, shots you've missed.
The fact that the brown's where it is, he could probably play the green up towards the brown, but be hoping to put it in the middle of the side cushion, I would think. On this line, maybe potable. Can he see enough of it? It is potable, but I'm not sure he can see enough of it.
Well, he certainly overhit it, I agree with you, but you want it to be hitting that green more to the side cushion. If Mark can pot the green, he'll go 21 points in front with 22 remaining. Can he pot the green and get position on the brown? Not without digging in. I think he can get past the pink and the green will go, but to hold for the brown you've got to dig in. Playing it this way, can't get position. So didn't play it. He'll be happy with that result. Awkward queuing for Marco Fu. Yep, knew he'd get the double kiss, but knew that the brown was blocking the green for the far right corner. Easy cross double, twice across, leave the green ball in the middle of the baulk cushion. Decent enough. Is the screen going over the middle? It needs to stop. Well, it just about has done, and with it being tight to the cushion, no chance of a cross double or anything like that. So really Mark can only just play this green and try and rest on the top cushion here. But the easy safety shot for Marco is always to send this green heading towards the brown. Last time he played a similar type of shot, he just overhit it slightly. But you feel that that's the safest alternative. As long as you get past the middle pocket, no danger.
Playing it around the angle, he's got to be very careful he doesn't cut into the blue or the pink if he plays the green around the angles. So I don't think he'll be playing that. Well, he's risked playing this, and he's missed the pink, and he's played it very well indeed. That was tough to miss both blue and the pink.
Yeah. Well, we've got 30 seconds to get to 1 1/4 hours for this frame. And believe it or not, folks, 30 seconds, and it was the longest frame in the history of the World Championship here at the Crucible.
First mistake in this little safety battle has come from Marco Fu. Just green and brown needed. And there's the longest frame now of the Crucible.
Yeah, we first came here in 1977, so it's 40 years, nearly, and this is the longest frame ever. So that probably inspired Mark Selby. 21 points to lead, 22 remaining. He still needs the brown, and this is no gimme. It's there. Well, we've had to wait an awful long time, but Mark Selby now looks for certain he's going to be all square going into the final session.
12.
And he's had a look at his watch. I'm loving a look at my watch. Doesn't matter about the pink, both players shake hands. At least they've got a break. They're not back until this evening. Well, that was the hardest type of match play, but Mark Selby won the very important frame. Instead of being 2 behind, we're all square. We hope for better snooker tonight, but it is for a place in the final. 12-all.
Well, our second semi-final was due to start at 2:30 this afternoon, but because of that delay in our match this morning and in that session, hundreds of people left waiting outside to get into the Crucible Theatre for their afternoon session. It takes about 25 minutes to turn things around and to make ready for the afternoon session. So we're due to start with the next one at about 7 minutes past. But I'll tell you what, that's a record in that, gentleman. Wake up. 76 minutes, 11 seconds was that final frame. It's officially the longest frame in Crucible history, beating that between Stephen Maguire and Mark King, 75 minutes in 2009, in case you were interested. But it's an hour and a quarter of our lives we'll never get back.
No, but fascinating nevertheless, and you know, it does happen, and I think both these players to some degree have a similar sort of pace around the table and great tactical brains, and they've got themselves into a little bit of a rut on occasions in this match, whereas the other semi-final has been relatively free-flowing. Amazing how, on exactly the same table, how games can go differently.
It's a complete contrast, as you say, and such a huge frame in so many ways, but particularly for Mark Selby to get himself back and into a level position going into this evening. But from Marco Fu's point of view, how debilitating is that to lose a frame such as that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think from Mark Selby's, we talk about, you know, how he plays so bad, but he still manages to come out of sessions like all level. And it was the same against Corin Wilson, same there, hasn't played his best, but managed to still level the session 4-all in frame terms. And I think maybe, you know, that frame will certainly give Mark Selby a little bit of hope, even though it was very elongated and dragged out. He needed it a lot more than Marco Fu did. And Marco Fu, I think, in that session has missed a couple of tricks. There's a couple of times where he could have got a 2-frame lead, missed the boat a little bit. And will that come back to haunt him in tonight's session?
Exactly, Ken. We did have 2 centuries. There was some good stuff played, clearly, but in many of those frames, they were giving each other 4 chances a frame. It was very, very unlike the two of them. And as you said earlier on, could be nerves, could be just a little bit of lack of form. It could be a bit of fatigue kicking in, of course.
Yes, of course. You know, it's a long tournament. It really is, and you are allowed to have bad sessions. We don't want too many on the trot. And usually we find a player coming to the forefront who seems fresh as a daisy, like Stuart Bingham last year. So it doesn't augur well for whoever gets into the final from these two, when the other 2 players seem to be still motoring away, whoever wins there. And Ding Junhui looks very strong, I think, and very fresh. And Alan McManus, you know, regardless of what happens in his semi-final match, has really been sort of like a breath of fresh air as well. And it doesn't seem to be tired at all, enjoying it all. So, you know, if you were going to try and pick a winner of the tournament right at this moment, yeah, you'd go with the other semi-final. Yeah,
exactly. It's going to be very interesting to see how that one pans out this afternoon. Our apologies, by the way, if you did hear some bad language off mic in the commentary box. Apologies for that. But so many storylines have unfolded over the last 15 days here at the Crucible Theatre. And another one, 2 Asian players in the semi-finals at the Crucible for the very first time. And Marco Fu, and in particular Ding Junhui, carrying the hopes of a continent in effect. And huge expectations, particularly on Ding.
Yeah, so obviously massive interest in China. We're down here with a couple from the Chinese press agency. We've got Tai and Dong Shen. Good to have you here. Ding Junhui, great to see him playing well at the Crucible.
Yeah, certainly. Hasn't been happening for him many times. It's only the second time he played at the one table setup stage.
Yeah, very good. Do you think that maybe coming through the qualifiers this time for Ding, not many people were talking about maybe being the winner this year. Is it taking a bit of pressure off him, do you think?
I think so, because he was the world number 1 2 years ago, but now he has to go through the qualifiers to get into Crucible. Apparently he plays well this time.
Yeah. And what about the interest back home? How many sort of millions are watching back home?
Roughly, we got average 20 million for every match, but him playing at this stage of the tournament, I think maybe 30, 50 million.
Yeah, well, that's pretty
possible.
Good. Yeah, good. And so what do you think a win for Ding Junhui at this year's World Championship will do for snooker in China?
I think snooker is already big in China, but of course if Ding wins, more and more people will get interested and they will know what is snooker. They will start to pay attention to this event because it's a Chinese World Championship.
Yeah, and finally, just one question to you. If Marco Fu gets there as well versus Ding Junhui, the figures could go through the roof, people watching, couldn't they?
Well, Kemby will be over the moon as well.
Yeah, OK, thank you very much. That's the views from down here, but of course he's still got a very tough match to win.
Absolutely, and there is Ding Junhui, and between these two qualifiers, remember they both have won 6 matches to get here. Well, they've produced 9 centuries in this semi-final so far. That's already a record. Ding Junhui's already made 6, equaling Ronnie O'Sullivan and Stephen Hendry's total. And there is Alan McManus, quite simply the coolest man of the championship. He's played a superb part, not only in this match, but the whole event. He's the oldest man left, and in fact, he was the oldest man in the Crucible draw from the start at 45 years of age. And he's produced stunning comebacks in 3 of his matches in the Crucible. Can he pull it off one more time today? Well, I wonder what more they will give us, these two gladiators, as they come in, and it's time to find out with our MC, Mr. Rob Walker.
Thanks, Hazel. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this history-making, record-breaking Crucible semi-final. It's been brilliant so far. 9 centuries, both players in uncharted territory, but there's only room for one in tomorrow's Betfred World Snooker Championship final. Great sporting drama is made for days like this. Please welcome a player producing the best snooker we've ever seen from him here at the Crucible. Back at the one-table setup for the first time in 23 years. He has been fantastic in this match so far. Can he turn around this deficit and produce a fairy tale finish and make it into the final for the very first time? Let's find out. He's the pride of Glasgow. He's Alan, the Angles, McManus. His opponent, emerging for the most important session of snooker in his career so far. He is just 3 frames away from becoming the first Asian player ever to make a World Championship final. With 6 centuries already in this match, he is in the form of his life. Can he keep it going here on the sport's biggest stage? The hopes and expectations of a nation rest upon his shoulders. So enter the Chinese dragon, Ding Junhui!
Well, as you've heard, Ding Junhui can make another bit of history for himself today. He's equalled Stephen and Ronnie, their total of 6 centuries in a single match here. And he could own the record outright with another burst of scoring. Appropriately then, Stephen is in the commentary box this afternoon alongside Dennis Taylor. Good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, Hazel, and a very good afternoon to everyone. This really has been some
Thank you. Cameras and
semi-final.
phones away now, please. Frame 25, Alan McManus to break.
Needs a good break off, does Alan. And it's not bad. You think, Stephen, looking for 3 of the first 4 frames, but he wants the first one, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think if he's got any chance of getting back into this match, I think 3 of the first 4 has got to be the minimum target for Alan. Although it will be interesting to see, once the winning line gets closer for Ding, how nervous he becomes, or if he becomes edgy, to get into his first final in the Crucible.
Yeah, it looked like he was only going to have a 2-frame advantage. He did well to win the last frame, but Alan has been up in the Champions Lounge having to wait because of the last frame that lasted, well, the record last frame at the Crucible Theatre that was played. So he was very calm up in the lounge, just waiting for the call to get himself ready. Close. And I don't think the brown's going to cover the path through. Yeah, Alan McManus has played 130 frames, including the qualifiers, just before we came to the Crucible. I mean, Ding's played 119, Stephen, but they still look pretty fresh, don't they? Because mentally it does take it out of you.
Yeah, but I think the fact that both of these players, they're playing so well, it doesn't take as much out of you. Alan's got a very positive shot on. He could pot this red and actually take the cue ball into the main bunch to try and stay for the black. I'd be surprised if he played that shot so early in a very important frame, but it is an opportunity to do that. Well, he's played that shot, but didn't play as much pace as I thought he might have. Very unlucky, though, to not be on the black.
Show you that shot again, played with right hand side, spinning it over to the pack, and a little bit more pace and he would have been perfect. And now he's in all sorts of trouble. May have to nominate the yellow here. So that'll be an early test for Angles McManus here. And of course he's got to hit the colour because it's an easy escape to hit the black, but he wouldn't want to do that. And as we zoom in from the back of the Crucible.
Yellow ball.
It is the yellow he's nominated, so he's got to hit 1, 2, at least 3 cushions. There's what, first. Oh,
foul and a miss.
That is so unusual. He was nowhere near the angle he was looking for there. And look what he's done. He's put Ding right in amongst them here.
What a gift in this very important first frame.
1.
That was a mile out, wasn't it, from where he needed to be? A slight kick there, but didn't seem to affect the path of the cue ball. Watch the cue ball jump here.
Nine. 14.
Yeah, Alan totally misjudged that. I was very surprised. He was looking for 3 cushions, and that's what he was looking for there, the line I've just put up. But then he got down. It was as if the ball checked and went straight into the red.
Yeah, he watched it. He was actually shaking his head before the cue ball even hit the red. He knew how badly it hit it straight away.
15.
The red, there's a red just at the bottom of the bunch. I don't know if that's also available to the left corner. Obviously the one closest to the black is. But there may be another one as well, which would make this positional shot a bit easier. There you see the red just at the edge of the bunch.
Well, if it doesn't go, it'll go after he removes this one. See, it's a little bit tight, the one Stephen mentioned, but there's a clear path through to it now.
23.
That's where he's looking to leave the cue ball a little bit low on the red so that he can pot the red and go into the bunch. Key couple of shots coming up. Purposely leaving an angle to pot this and disturb some more of the reds. And the blue, pink and black are available, so not a problem. That's the best kiss in the world. Played for the blue because he knew the cannon might have tied the pink up, which it did do.
If the yellow was on its spot, it would be easy to play for the red that's on the bulk line to the left corner, just stun off the cushion, but the yellow may be blocking the path, playing that straightforward positional shot.
He's looking at the little bunch of reds there. They're all covering each other into the right corner. There's certainly one to the left of the pack that's available. Into the pocket there that Ding Junhui is leaning over. Well, he's missed the green, and he might not be on a red.
Ding Junhui, 31.
A little bit of tension in this opening frame. He doesn't miss many of those, Ding Junhui. And Alan's looking at rolling this red down the cushion to get nicely on the black. Very little to do with the cue ball. Just drop this in, the white will come out off the cushion and onto the black. Funny enough, I was chatting to Alan about the rest shots and how many he's potted with the rest, and it's an unbelievable. It's something like, I think he's missed 4 pots out of over 70 shots he's played with the rest. In fact, he's played 78 shots with the rest and missed 4. It's incredible.
Well, he's played the cannon on the red, but he's at the left-hand side of the red.
Touching ball.
Yeah, the red is an extreme right of the bunch. He wants to cannon that full ball. He's just cannoned it on the left-hand side of it.
Yeah, it's all about fractions, this game of snooker.
Alan McManus, 8.
I love that shot there as the camera zooms in from the back of the crucible. Just shows you how big the table is. You know, people, when they come here for the first time, they can't believe the size of a snooker table. They're probably used to seeing pool tables, which are 6 foot by 3 foot. Snooker tables 12 foot by 6. I'm still in feet and inches, Stephen. I'm not sure about you. Been fairly lucky. He might be in trouble after the next shot, but once he missed the pot there, I thought he's going to leave Alan with an easy opener. Just caught the near jaw there, but didn't leave a pot on. But if Alan can get in behind the yellow here with the reds as they are, he could put Ding Junhui in all sorts of bother here. Easy ball to land on, so Ding Junhui might have to look for a 2-cushion escape and glance off one of those reds, and if he doesn't get it right, he could put Alan McManus right in amongst it. Yeah, the pink's next to a red. It's not a plant there, as you can see. But even if you come off a cushion, there's a red blocking the path through to that. He's in a lot of bother here.
Yeah, you may see just a hit and hope shot here. Just play with the cue ball a lot of pace.
Yeah, sometimes there's no other shot available, so you do hit it hard and hope for the best. He's back looking at that possible, if he was to knock one red, come off the side cushion, knock one red onto the pink, what would happen to that red? So, you know, when you've got a lead as well, he's got the 26-point lead, he'd be hoping, if he does just hit it as hard as he can, he'd be hoping to knock something safe or fluke one. Not very often you see a player in this much trouble. See, there's no red he can just land on and leave it safe. And I think the 2-cushion escape, he'd have to swerve around the yellow somewhat to get to that. Very rarely would you see Ding Junhui thinking this long. 2.5 minutes thinking about the shot. There's one player from Malta, Tony Drago, finished a frame in just over 3 minutes. I would give it the old hit and hope. Hope for the best. Well, we've seen the longest frame ever in the history of the Crucible. Not sure what the longest shot is, but this has been 3 minutes and 10 seconds and counting. Coming up to 3.5 minutes thinking time. Coming off this side of the table, he's trying to hit the red that's 3 from the pink, just glance off it.
I think he's got to play the hit and hope shot, Dennis. I think if he's going to play an exact shot, I think he's going to, as you say, stick Allen up in amongst all the balls. So just hope for the best, as you said. Maybe put something safe, maybe even fluke something.
Well, I think this is the longest I've ever known anyone to take over a shot. It's well over 4 minutes now. Ronnie
just going into the other semi-final all of a sudden.
Well, Ronnie made his maximum break in 5 minutes and 20 seconds. He made a maximum in 1997. I suppose the referee could say to Ding Junhui, right, listen, you've got to play something. Allen's quietly just sitting there. And we get a miss in the end. Or is he hitting the red? Well.
Well, fair play to him for trying to pick out an exact shot.
Thank you.
That was so difficult, but
settle down, please.
I do
Thank
think
you.
he should have just went down and just hit it as hard as he could. Now look at this situation for Alan McManus. What a chance now to take this first frame. Such an important frame for Alan McManus.
Needs 100% concentration now. He was sitting in his seat for quite a while there while Ding tried to get out of that difficult situation.
9.
Doesn't have to worry about any cannons. Even the two near the pink will clear each other if he gets that far. Just about okay. Didn't pot that in the center of the pocket.
16.
He's going to have to take the one into the right middle pocket and head up for blue or green. Oh, what a horrendous kick he's had there. And look
17.
what's happened. That is incredible. He's completely out of position. Have a look at this. I mean, that has ruined the shot completely, because he's running past the red, he's got the blue or the green, and all of a sudden he's not on anything.
No, that really was horrendous luck. I mean, you can see what Alan thinks of the situation, but that really was no fault of his own.
Alan McManus, 17.
And he hasn't played a great safety. He's left it attempted for Ding Junhui.
Yeah, and that's unusual. It got to him there because he didn't really pay much attention to that safety shot. He just got down and stunned the cue ball. Here, watch this again. Look at this.
Although he's leading by 4 frames, Ding Junhui, he doesn't look totally relaxed out there. He looks a little bit edgy to me.
This is a decent chance, this red to the right corner, because if he stuns to the side for the black, all them 4 reds are blocking each other. Yeah, I was saying earlier, Dennis, about Ding, possibly he's never been in the final before. It'll be interesting to see how much pressure he's under this afternoon and get into that winning line.
Well, he's got another chance here. Alan shaking his head, still thinking about that horrendous contact he had when he had a clear run to the winning line in this frame. Played this well.
6.
Played into an area there where he was going to have a choice of 2 or 3 reds. Just got to be a little bit careful if he pots the one that's closest to the pink and red, because he's got to run through. He's looking at the other one into the left corner, a bit reluctant to have to play the cannon at this stage.
Seven.
Well, not the best shot in the world. He overhit that one by quite a margin. He can still
14.
cut this in, but this is not the red he played on. That's good. Even though he's near the cushion, he's just got to drop the blue in, and there's a red available to the right corner, and he's already 24 in front. So just needs this red and a black to leave Alan needing a snooker. Pink or black
20.
would do.
$21.
He must have finished straight on the black. He's just checking the scoreboard, so black enough, as I mentioned, for Alan to need a snooker. But I don't think he can get on the red. He might have to play a snooker. Just roll the white in behind the pink. He's had a good long look at the red. I'm not sure if it goes to the
28.
right middle pocket. It must be pretty tight. Just about. No, it wouldn't go, so he did play the snooker. He might have fluked this red. The red's in.
29.
But he had the snooker anyway.
Ding Junhui 29.
Alan debating whether to come back to the table. He's coming to the table, but barring snookers, Dings took this opening frame. An exhibition shot from Angles McManus. He will concede the frame now. He holds his hand up.
Foul. Ding Junhui 5. Frame concede.
Not Ding.
Yeah.
Well,
Frame Ding Junhui.
Ding was going to... You don't usually concede, but Alan held his hand up and Ding was quite happy to take the frame. It's a frame that Alan badly needed, but in the end, Ding took it and he extends his lead to 15-10.
And such an important frame for Ding Junhui in the context that he's trying to become the first Asian player to make it to the final. And this was always going to be a big test of his composure. That's a huge bonus for him right away.
Yes, it is, and under severe pressure, Snooker and not getting out of it. But of course, what happened to Alec McManus has potentially destroyed his chances in this match. Massive difference, 14-11 to 15-10, and the kick, Ken, just awful, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you know, we get kicks all the time, but what's happened there is, look, just have a look at the cue ball. Even if it shortens up, he might have a shot on the blue, or if it goes on a little bit more, he might have a shot on the yellow, but he only had one safety shot there. It was very unlucky, and it can happen at the worst possible time, and it's very unfortunate for Alan McManus.
Dispiriting for Alan McManus, because he knew he needed to get that first frame this afternoon. But nevertheless, there have been comebacks from this sort of distance before, and I'm looking at a man who's done it. 2003, Paul Hunter, you came back from 15-9 in that, going into that session. These things are possible, and Alan's so experienced, he knows these things are possible.
Yeah, I mean, he had to get off to a good start. He had to win, I think, 3 of these first 4. It's still possible. And I think if anybody can, Alan can. And this is a place that, you know, we've seen lots of comebacks over the years. And Alan will have known that, you know, and he would have seen the comebacks just as I grew up watching them as well. So there's still hope for Alan. This match is not over just yet.
Well, he's made up some deficits in his 3 matches so far in the Crucible Theatre. This is a tough ask for him now, though.
Yes, it's a tough ask, Hazel, but he's a tough Scot. And Ding, not the best break off. Straight away, chance for Alan to knock this red in, slip round the back of the black, finish on a baulk colour. Much too thick. I just hope that that last frame and that terrible contact hasn't knocked the stuffing out of Alan McManus.
Yeah, it might take him a few minutes to get that out of his mind properly. But Ding does not look the same Ding that's been the last couple of days in this match. And Alan's experienced enough to sense that his opponent will get under more pressure the closer to that winning line.
Yes, that comeback that Hazel was talking about there, Ken Doherty against Paul Hunter. It was on Snooker Classics, and I was recovering in the hotel, and I woke up in the middle of the night. And what a way to get rid of pain watching that match. It was incredible. What a comeback that was from Ken Doherty, and it was great to see the late Paul Hunter, who definitely would have been a world champion, 3 times a Masters champion, but that was a fantastic semi-final.
Well, that sure heard that black cushion made a thumping sound there. I think they got a massive bounce.
That's close to the corner pocket. I think the white's in. No, it's not. Good result, though. We haven't had a great deal of tactical play in this semi-final. I was expecting more of it, but the players have been winning frames with one chance. I mean, the record number of century breaks. 9 in this semi-final, 3 from Allen, 6 from Ding Junhui. But the interesting stat is in the safety success department, believe it or not, it's Ding Junhui who's, well, they've just gone level. He was just slightly ahead with Ding.
One. Ding Junhui 1. Thank you, Alan.
Far too thin. He's going to give Ding Junhui a chance here. On these very fast tables, if you catch it thin like that, you know the white's going to come in and out of the balk area. Black tied up. I'm not sure if the pink will be tied up if he pots this red and plays for the pink. Find out shortly.
One.
There's 3 reds there. The little triangular reds seem to be near the pink spot. But he's got an angle on the pink to possibly run through and maybe free up the spot. Now he's almost straight. Couldn't do that, so we'll find out shortly. If the pink spot's available, no. So the highest available spot and only available spot is the green.
7.
Well, this really is a must-win frame for Alan McManus. First to 17 goes through to the final.
8.
Well, Ding Junhui certainly wasn't playing for the green, because when this is potted, it's going to take the pink out of commission. And again, this is not the best angle on the red to screw back for the blue. You want it to be dead straight, or even the cue ball 2 or 3 inches further over, so it could just stun up for the blue. So there's definitely tension in Ding Junhui this afternoon.
Has he screwed into the pocket? I think he has.
Foul.
There certainly is
Ding
tension.
Junhui 11.
Stephen.
Alan McManus 4.
I mean, that was very careless from Ding Junhui there.
Yeah, the careless one was the one before, the shot from green to red. He left himself a horrible angle on that red.
Yeah, I think he potted that red. I was just looking at it again. He potted it into the right side of the pocket. That's why the cue ball went in the middle. A shot to nothing here for Alan. He could do with knocking this in. Well played. Not on a colour, but easy to roll to the pink, and he can play it with a little bit more pace because of the green there.
Pink ball.
A little bit of us. I thought he'd have played it like you said then, so a bit more pace to get the pink. A little bit more in the open.
Got to hit at least 3 cushions here, if not 4. And even then he's not guaranteed to get it safe. If he lands on one of those reds, he can leave one to the left corner, but the black's tied up and the pink's way up the other end of the table, so might just be okay. So there's 1 cushion, 2 cushions, 3 cushions. Might be a possible pot to the left middle pocket. The white will be going towards the right middle pocket, but I think he can take this pot on, and will he play it in such a way that he can drop on the brown or yellow? A nice nudge on the green, but what it's done there is tied the pink up again. He's only got the blue to work with, so he needs 1 good positional shot here to get up in amongst the reds.
Yeah, if the cue ball was out just a little bit, he'd play the yellow, just cannon into the black. He might still play that shot. To get that black into the open. It's played for the red, just to the left of those 3. I don't know if he's come too far. I think he's still on it, is he?
Looking at that there, it's going on the right jaw. I mean, how has that dropped in?
You'd have to say any more pace, and that you would think it definitely wouldn't have been in that red.
7.
He can't play the cannon onto the black and red because of the red near the pink spot, so his intention will be blue, red off the pink spot, back for the blue, and then hopefully develop the black. Now, what has he done here?
No, surely he's not. Has he run far enough to get this red to the right corner? No. That was a clumsy shot there from McManus. A couple of reds he could have been on. Still got this one to the right middle.
Alan McManus, 12.
Well, he may have got a bad contact, but the fault was the shot before. He knows he should have been on. A choice of 2 reds to the right corner. Didn't seem to jump so much, that one. He's getting frustrated out there, Alan McManus.
It's amazing. You wouldn't think that Ding Junhui had a 5-frame advantage because he's certainly not settled. It's a big day in these players' snooker lives, getting through to the first ever final. I mean, it's remarkable that Alan is here in the semi-final after 23 years. An incredible story. Ding Junhui, on the other hand, a couple of seasons ago, won 5 ranking events. There's so much pressure on this young man to lift a world title. It's such a following back in China.
He's not happy out there at the moment, Alan McManus, at all.
Yeah, they've gone a little awkward, these frames. He doesn't, although he's a very, very good tactician, he's been playing open matches throughout this year's World Championship. But as you said, Stephen, he must be sensing that Ding is getting anxious. The only good thing for Ding Junhui is that he's knocking them safe when he misses. He could quite easily have stuck that red up. I like that shot. As long as he covers the red, he's brought the black into play, but I think there's a path through to the red. So he took the chance to bring the black into play and just didn't get the cue ball quite where he wanted.
Yeah, just watching Alan's reactions to every shot, I think he just needs to calm down a little bit. I mean, it's easier said than done. The pressure out there is incredible, but he's not going to win this match unless he can keep a level head. Ding is missing a few balls, but he still looks in complete control of his emotions. That was a nice shot.
Yeah, he took a little longer on that and he played it beautifully. It really was well controlled, this. As I say, he gave himself plenty of time and judged the cannon to perfection there.
9.
Well, that's a shocker from Ding Junhui. I mean, it looks like he possibly going to have a red to the left
14.
middle pocket. He's playing to come off the cushion for the red that's above the black to the left corner. Cue ball shouldn't have been anywhere near that red in the cushion. Very scrappy stuff at the moment.
Ding Junhui, 14.
He's going to get away with it again. The red he's missed, look where it's gone, right near the black. And Alan comes to the table shaking his head as if to say, well, you know, every time he misses, he's knocking them safe. But sometimes that's how the balls run. It's a big part of the game, Stephen. When you do miss, if you manage to get away with it, it doesn't half help.
Yeah, as Alan came to the table, he gave Ding a little sideways glance. As I said, he's not going to get anywhere in this match by bothering about things like that. I know it's hard, but you just got to put it out of your mind. He's got to take encouragement for the fact that Ding he's not playing well. He looks edgy.
But that's a poor safety shot from Alan, it has to be said. He hasn't even got the cue ball to the balk line. He's thrown the safety advantage straight to Ding Junhui here. Just watch where he puts the cue ball. And now Alan's in a spot of bother, simply because of the poor safety shot he played when he was last at the table. Got to be careful here. If he comes off the left side of the reds, as we look at it, the white is going towards the black and red, so he'll have to play a stun shot to avoid that. He's managed to get around the back of it. That's a better length with the cue ball. Well, this is a bit of a chance now for Alan McManus. Okay, there's a red, very awkward, the right side of the table, but the other three are not too badly placed. It's a fairly comfortable starter for him. Too far for the blue, have to be the brown. Just means he's got a lot further to travel with the cue ball to drop on the next red. But there's a couple of easy reds you can drop on here. Put the cue ball in an area there where you would have a choice of a red into the left corner or one into the left middle.
Yeah, I think this is the right one to play. Very unusual frame in the semi-final where these two scores are only 30
13.
to Alan McManus, 26 to Ding Junhui. We've seen such high scoring in this match. Might not see
14.
the big breaks in this session that we've been seeing because there's so much pressure on this last session.
It's going to get more difficult now because you'd want to be on the black into the right corner, so you'd have to screw over to the left to give
21.
himself a chance of moving the difficult red. If he plays to leave the black into the left corner, he'd have to be so precise.
$22.
Has he got the angle to screw back and move that difficult red? Not sure. I don't know whether he can screw. Well, might just be able to. It's a good effort. Oh, he's hit it too far. He's hit it a fraction too far.
29.
And now he's faced with a tough red up into the corner. But the green's out of commission at the moment, so he may take this on. He's 20 in front. Well played.
30.
Yeah, and a very clever use of the knuckle in the middle pocket there to get back to the right side of the blue.
Yeah, the fact that that green was tied up with the pink give him that little bit more confidence with that tough red he took on, because he only
35.
needs the yellow now to leave Ding Junhui leading a snooker. He could have done with running through another few inches.
Very good safety.
Alan McManus, 37.
So that'll make Alan McManus feel a lot better. And you can see what it means.
Oh, I'll tell you what. He's getting fired up, is Alan. That tells you he's far from finished in this year's Betfred World Championship. He's coming into the table. He's got a little bit of fire in that Scottish belly. So unassuming, one of the nicest lads you could ever wish to meet, and to see him react like that. Just tells you what it means to him, Stephen.
Yeah, he's showing every single emotion out there today, isn't he?
Yeah, he could get this behind the brown. I mean, the balls are well placed for the snooker that Ding Junhui needs. You'd think the side cushion would be the easiest way to escape. You've got to be careful though.
Three.
It's a bit of a chance now to get in behind the black. The black is the best ball on the table at the moment to get snookers behind. That's not bad.
Ding Junhui, 3.
May have to swerve around this, but when he swerves around it, he'll be hitting the cushion first and back to the brown, or is he going to try and get enough on it to hit the brown direct? Yeah, he's got plenty on it. Well played. In fact, he may have got the snooker back. And this crowd want to see a comeback. He's had so much support, Alan McManus, the way he played against his good friend John Higgins, and the snooker he's produced. He's certainly got the support of the Crucible crowd. They're always a fair crowd. And there you can see the packed Crucible. A couple of seats here and there where people will be waiting for this evening's session, but sold out well in advance. And he'd like to see the end of this brown here. This to make absolutely sure of this frame. Well, he didn't get anywhere near it. And you always feel it, as long as your opponent needs 2 frames to get over the line, you always feel you've got a chance.
Thank you.
Been very quick frames in this semi-final. A couple of frames just went over the 30-minute mark. That's the average frame time there, just over 18 minutes. In fact, Ding tried to pot the brown there and then try and get the snooker from the blue. And Alan's more or less saying, well, you know, pot the blue if you want, because the more colours that disappear, the more difficult it is to get snookers. So you want a colour somewhere near a cushion rather than out in open play. It's so difficult to get in behind. As I said, the black's okay being on its spot, but the blue in the middle of the table and the pink near the green spot, they're not ideally placed.
Four.
Possibility, believe it or not, of getting up behind the black, but the blue will be going back across the table towards the left corner pocket. In fact, he's well, I thought it was going near the pocket. I didn't think it was going to drop in the pocket, and now he's only got one colour to snooker behind. Needs to miss the middle pocket on the left side of the table if he's to get up behind the black. It's not a bad effort, this, but he's going to finish the wrong side of the black.
Ding Junhui, 9.
In or over is the order of the day when there's just the 2 balls left. You try to pot it or leave it over the pocket. I think he can avoid potting it in. Maybe have a chance of getting up behind the black. Oh, this is close. This is close. If it keeps running. What a shot from Ding Junhui.
Yeah, shortest session so far by a long distance. That was excellent.
Well, he can go either side of the table. He's going the right side. He's missed it. And he doesn't want the white to go in the pocket. Doesn't want the cue ball in the pocket. Okay, the pink's not on. But it gives Ding a clear advantage to play a telling safety shot, and all of a sudden Ding has just gone favourite for this frame. It is the longest frame of the match, just coming up, well, 35 minutes and counting. Is he trying to get round behind the black again?
Is there a chance Alan could pot this pink into the green pocket if he's playing the cross double? Oh, he's playing the other way. It's a strange shot Ding played this. I know he's trying to get in behind the black, but why not put the cue ball in the green spot and just send the pink down behind the black? It was a much easier shot.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think Ding Junhui played the wrong shot totally on the pink. If he keeps the white tight on the cushion, sends the pink round this end, he would have had Alan in all sorts of trouble. Didn't really need the snooker. But he can see this from behind. He can hit the cushion first and maybe get a snooker behind the black. Well, this is a half chance for Alan McManus. Just got to be careful with the cue ball. It'll be heading towards the right middle pocket if he takes the pot on. This is tough.
If it's 2 or 3 inches off the cushion, Ding could play this pink with top spin back up for the black. No, I don't think he'll take the pot on. But this is tough to play safe. Every chance of getting a double kiss.
Yeah, he was thinking of thin off the left side of the pink and just taking it off side cushion onto that bulk cushion. White back up the table. And that's what he's played, and he's played it well.
Since he's needed a snooker, his safety play's been excellent down in this frame. He really has.
And that is a little beauty that Alan McManus has played there. There's no easy safety shot for Ding Junhui here. You can only just double this onto the cushion and it'll give the advantage to Alan. That's all he could do. So one good telling shot here, and Alan could certainly gain the advantage.
This would be handy for Alan if he could knock the black a bit safer. Just means if Ding has a chance of a long pot. Maybe if the pink's in the bulk end of the table, it's so much more difficult to get position in the black now.
Some very good tactical play being played here. And what a frame. Alan McManus badly needs this to stay in this year's Betfred World Championship, it has to be said. 16-10, very little chance.
Is he playing a double? No. He was looking long and hard on that tennis, I thought, but surely not. But is there a chance for Ding to get in behind the black here?
There is a chance, but he'd have to be very precise if he's to screw in behind it, and he'll not be absolutely certain. He'd be hoping to leave the pink near the baulk cushion, but to judge this screw shot and get in behind the black is so difficult.
Yeah, to get the cue ball in behind the black, the pink is going to, I think, end up in the middle of the table, so has to get the snooker. Now you see the pink's running free. He hasn't got the snooker.
Thank you.
So difficult to judge that shot, but I'll tell you what, he'll settle for this. And Alan McManus hasn't got an easy safety shot. The pink is just off straight. He throws his chalk up in the crucible, and he's more or less saying, I might have to take this on. There is a safety shot, but that's just as difficult. That's what you call a containing safety shot.
And just try to put the pink in behind the black here. You won't be concentrating on getting the cue ball too safe. Just make sure the pink is safe.
Looks like it's going to be a day of the long frames here at the Crucible. Surely he wasn't thinking of taking on the back double there. I think he might be, you know. No, change of plan. And this is a terrific shot. If the pink keeps going.
I mean, that really was an excellent shot. I mean, I don't know why I had to take the risk of playing such a good safety shot, because I'd be just making sure and getting the pink safe, but that was well thought out.
I'm just wondering, his priority here is to keep the pink safe, but there is an angle to get up towards the black here. And even if he didn't get a snooker, if he could move the black into a more favourable position, wouldn't be a bad choice, but he's got to keep that pink safe. And he has played to bring the black into play. I like this shot. Oh, not quite. But that was his intention there.
Yeah, he's played some very clever shots. Ding Junhui at the end of this frame.
Oh, he's hit it too hard, has he? No. He's just okay. Well, we've had nearly 11 minutes play on this pink, and there's been some terrific safety shots played in this very key frame. And there's another good one. He's got to somehow chip that pink onto the right side cushion. And he hasn't played it as well this time. It's a half chance, and Ding Junhui can drop on the black. So after 12 minutes, it's down to this long pot.
Well, what an important shot. And the fact he's getting the cue ball cleaned means I think he's going to play this just dead weight, just to drop the pink in for the black with topspin. He's normally very good at this shot. Just missed the double kiss to leave the pink on.
Once he missed the pink, I'm sure he felt he was going to stick it up, but advantage now back to Alan McManus. Can he screw in behind the black as we show you this attempt? If this goes in, he would have been perfect on the black, but that little flick there, oh, it's tense out there.
This one's much easier for Alan because the cue ball is so close to the pink. He can get the pink safe and get the cue ball in behind the black, no problem. Be very surprised if he didn't get this shot. Oh, he's decelerated there. He's just quit on the shot there, hasn't he, Dennis?
Thank you.
It's just tension, just pure tension there, because he hasn't got the pink anywhere near where he intended. Look at the shot that Ding's faced with.
Well, if he can pot this pink and get back down to the black, it's a shot at the championship for me.
Well, he's got the thin snick off the pink on the left side and just send it over onto the ball cushion. He's debating it, and maybe that's what he's going to play, the little thin one. But if he takes the pot on, as you say, Stephen, shot of the championship, but I don't think he's taking it. He's played the up and down shot. That's just as good, as long as it keeps running. Now this is, well, Alan hasn't even looked at it. It's a thin one. He only needs the pink. I think his intentions is just to push the pink safe and once again try and get the snooker, but he's played it well. He's played it very well.
Great shot.
And it's a must hit, because if he misses the pink, he'll need a snooker. Well, that's knocked the black safer, and I think he can cue at this. He's not hampered with the black. So Alan McManus, after some nearly 50 minutes of this tense frame, has got a chance. It's there. What a frame, and what a battling Scot. Alan McManus needed that frame, and after 50 minutes he took it, and the crowd are right behind him. He's not finished just yet, but it's now 15-11 to Ding Junhui.
48 and a half minutes on this one, and you could see early on in that frame just how much passion there was coursing through the veins of Alan McManus. It was a struggle, but he got there. What a tactical exchange at the end, Ken.
Amazing tactical exchange, and particularly you know, to knock a long pink in like that after such an exchange of safety shots, and it was top quality safety shots from both players, but a great to show from Alan McManus to hold his nerve, hold his bottle, and you could tell what the crowd thought of it as well, because they're really behind them out there.
Oh yeah, well they want to see this match, definitely. And as you said earlier on, if you can keep Ding Junhui at 15, that's the key here. If he can just start to make inroads into his lead here, then it'll be a very interesting test of composure for the young man, won't it?
Yes, it will be. But it's just, you've got to say to Alan McManus, so well done. Yeah. I mean, you know, he's holding himself together. He's fighting like a trooper, and the facial expressions are just brilliant as well. When he thought he'd won the frame and he needed snookers, have a look at this. It was earlier in the frame, quite a while back now, but like, he's just absolutely committed to this. Absolutely loving it, he is. Absolutely.
And you've got to be careful about this, because obviously there's a fine line between so much adrenaline going through you and that actually overspilling into your play.
Yeah, I mean, he's so unassuming, Alan, isn't he? You never see... You see him talking to himself all right, but you never see him geeing himself up like that. So it was great to see. And as you said, if he keeps Ding as long as he can at 15, he's in with a chance.
One of the things, obviously, the game is a game of such control, and you can't really let your emotions go in the same way, and there's nothing to get them out in any other way other than facial expressions, but you can just see that the players are playing from the heart and how much is involved in that.
They are indeed, and we're going to keep going with this one, but we're going to have to do so on the other side now, because we're actually slipping over to BBC 2 as we start this 27th frame. So in just about a minute we'll be over there, but in the meantime I really hope you're enjoying semi-finals day here at the Crucible. It has been smashing stuff and it's fascinating here. Can McManus come back at Ding Junhui, and Ding trying to become the first player from China ever to make this final? We'll see you in 1 minute from now. Bye for now.